how's it going, big dreamers? Yo, lady, Vitamin Katie is here, and today I'm so excited to go over the top 8 practices that I do myself that I recommend to my clients to help balance hormones. So if you've been following me for a while, you would know that I wasn't getting my period for a solid 8 years. I went on birth control, I would get my period, and then I would go back to my old ways. You know, I got off birth control. There's this whole thing around this. Practices are things that we're going to be doing and continue to do to take care of ourselves. Just because we have a great day doesn't mean that the next day we can just be like, oh, well, I had a great day yesterday, I can just go back to my old ways now. No, that's not what this is about. This is about continuing to have that vision, get excited about having balanced hormones and feeling our absolute freaking best. So when I go over this list, please whip out your piece of paper, jot something down like that you know that you're not sure of, that you need to work on, to make sure that you circle back and do these things. Like, knowledge is not power, knowledge is potential power. What are you doing with the knowledge that you're about to take in from this video? Please, like, get something out of this and make stuff happen for yourself. I am a registered dietitian. I help women balance their hormones and gain muscle with a plant-based diet so that they can make a strong, positive impact on the people around them and on the environment just by being themselves, right? So I'm happy to be here with you. Thank you for connecting. Let's dive into this. Number 1, might surprise you, is getting enough sleep. Sleep. Probably the most underrated recommendation in the book, and probably the most I recommend to people and that I practice myself. I know that when I don't get enough sleep, I crave all of the things. I feel like absolute crap. I feel fatigued. I take in caffeine, and then for about 2 weeks after that, I'm recovering and just feeling like I'm getting myself back on track. Like, sleep is so important. Did you know that if you don't sleep enough, you're way more likely to have abdominal fat? And yeah, all the things I listed: feel fatigued, have cravings, eat unhealthy things. And not to mention, actually a study just came out, and I'll post it here on CNN, where childhood obesity is actually a lot more likely, not only if they don't get enough sleep, but if they go to bed after 9 p.m. Your little ones are a lot more likely to be obese. And I think that this can translate to adults as well. Like, if you go to bed at an obscene hour, what are you doing late in the day? You're probably eating foods that you normally wouldn't be eating if you weren't up super late, craving these things to keep you up at night, all right? So please sleep. And with this also, if you're not letting yourself sleep, if you're not letting yourself take a nap, go to bed on time, you're probably burning the candle at both ends. You're probably stressing yourself out. You're probably stressed out. And that obviously is not gonna help with our hormones at all. So it's really important to notice, how is our sleep? Are we sleeping enough? And if we're not sleeping enough, and if our sleep is not good, what can we do to drastically change this right now? Because this is not going to be something that you want to have going on for another 5 years from now, 10 years from now. That's not going to look good. It's not. You're just going to feel like crap, and worse things are going to happen than not balanced hormones, okay? So please sleep. Please sleep. Number 2, balanced meals equals balanced hormones. So if you're waking up first thing in the morning and having a baked good or having fruit juice, that's gonna jack up our insulin, our blood sugar. So the insulin helps blood sugar get into the cells to make sure that it's not just in our bloodstream and we're actually able to use it for energy. Insulin is a hormone. Insulin is a hormone. So if we're just jacking up our insulin and then crashing, obviously our hormones are going to be on this roller coaster as well. So to just get off of this roller coaster, let's make sure that we're incorporating plant-based sources of fiber, vegetables, fruits, whole grains, like things that are more unprocessed than our fried foods, our baked goods. And processed foods, this does include cheese. This does include animal products, okay? Animal products and cheese, these are highly processed foods, and they're definitely not going to be beneficial for our hormones, especially dairy products that contain their own foreign estrogens and things that we really don't want to be taking in. So please avoid the animal products. And if you are, I will say this, in general I do recommend, like, sure, some foods are more nutrient dense than others. However, I don't want to say any foods are bad or good foods. I really do have an approach of intuitive eating and just eating mindfully and enjoying our desserts. However, if you do have insulin resistance, prediabetes, diabetes, PCOS, any of these hormonal issues, let's really take a look at your refined processed food intake and make sure that it actually is of utmost importance that you reduce those foods in your diet, okay? So obviously if you're having an issue with your hormones and with this, like, it's actually gonna be more important that you notice and are intentional with your intake of balanced meals, okay? So this actually comes into play when I'm thinking about, okay, which do they need more help with? Is it their mental health or is it their blood sugar balance right now? So put that into consideration. I'm gonna leave it there and continue with this. Number 3 is vitamin D. So vitamin D, it is a fat soluble vitamin and it's also a hormone. It acts like a hormone. Vitamin D plays a huge role in our mood, our energy, yes, our immunity, our bone health. Vitamin D is amazing, essential, and it comes from sunlight. And even in LA, like, I'm not butt naked in the sun for at least a half hour every single day. I'm definitely not. Are you? And getting our blood checked every single year, if you have not done that, please do that, because yeah, since vitamin D is a hormone, it's going to play a huge role in, yeah, your insulin, sorry, I keep saying yeah, in your blood sugar balance and in PCOS and these things. We need to be taking in enough vitamin D. If you're low in vitamin D, if you're like in the teens, I would recommend like 5,000 IUs a day, minimum 2,000 IUs every single day of vitamin D, all right? Make sure your supplement is vegan and it's not in a gelatin supplement. That's it with vitamin D. Make sure you're getting enough. Very important. Number 4, I did already touch on this, but please, like, really avoid highly processed foods like your cheeses, like your refined grains, white breads, white sugar. All of these things are really gonna F with your hormones, and alcohol. People don't think of alcohol. Alcohol is messing with our hormones as well. Alcohol makes it so that we're not going to be able to get a good night's rest if we're drinking late at night. So we want to be able to sleep well. We want to be able to balance our insulin and everything like that. So really avoiding our processed foods, okay? Let me know if you have any questions around that. Let's get juicy with this. Number 5, iodine. Are you taking in enough iodine? I've got my kelp shaker here. This contains 1 teaspoon is 970% of our daily need for iodine. And this does have a fishy taste. It is a sea vegetable, it's kelp. Or you could take in a little bit of iodized salt. So swap out your Himalayan salt or your sea salt for iodized salt. Just making sure that you are taking in enough iodine. Why? Iodine is food for our thyroid. Our thyroid is the control center of our metabolism, of our energy. So people who aren't taking in enough iodine, they're going to have unwanted weight gain. They're going to feel fatigued. They're going to just want to take a nap all the time. Iodine is going to help with that. Iodine can actually help reverse and reduce risk of hypothyroidism. And it really is food for our thyroid. So we need our thyroid and our thyroid hormones to have all the other hormones working properly. Okay, it all acts in a loop with the adrenal axis, and I don't want to get into it, but make sure you're getting in enough iodine. And with that, if we're not taking in enough iodine, we're not going to be able to enjoy our cruciferous vegetables like broccoli or soy foods, which are really, really important for hormone health. So soy foods, especially like fermented, make sure it's organic, make sure that it is processed properly and cooked properly. You don't want to be eating raw beans ever, obviously. I don't know why I even said that. But in places where they eat the most soy, they have the least risk, the least incidence of breast cancer, endometriosis, and all kinds of estrogen and hormone-related diseases and cancers. So if we want to reduce our risk of breast cancer and these things, of course, eating broccoli, eating cauliflower, eating these cruciferous veggies and soy foods that contain phytoestrogens, and flax seeds, ground flax seeds, amazing. Make sure you keep them in the fridge, make sure they're ground, or else you'll just see flax seeds in your poop. Make sure that you are incorporating these foods. They're actually really beneficial. But however, like if you have thyroid issues and you're not taking in enough iodine, these foods are known as goitrogens, and they can make your thyroid issues worse. So we really want to make sure that your thyroid is on fleek so that you can eat the hormone balancing foods. And that's all I want to say about that, okay? So basically soy, ground flax, and cruciferous vegetables are actually really great for balancing hormones. A lot of people think that soy is not good. The reality is that it is good for you, okay? Let's not be afraid of a bean. What we really should be afraid of is dairy and cow's milk that actually causes cystic acne and hormonal PMS, like horrible, obviously like I don't want to get into it. Basically, don't be afraid of soy, all right? You're fine. Number 7 is adaptogenic herbs. So adaptogenic herbs, my favorites include chasteberry or vitex. Amazing if you have low progesterone, which was I officially diagnosed with low progesterone? I was basically self-diagnosed with low progesterone, and that can happen if you're really stressed out, you're not sleeping enough. And what chasteberry is really good at doing is helping you like ovulate and basically relax and just help progesterone go up so that you can have a normal cycle. But it's really gentle and it's really natural, so I love that. Also, I want to recommend berberine. So berberine got recommended to me if you have any type of insulin resistance, prediabetes, diabetes, PCOS. This also comes into play if you're stressed out, or like in the days where I was 80-10-10 jacked up on all the fruit juice and like literally only eating fruit. Berberine can really help with blood sugar balance and balancing our hormones. So berberine is great. Also ashwagandha and reishi. So reishi is a mushroom and ashwagandha is a herb, and both of these are really, really beneficial to help our adrenals. If you've ever heard of adrenal fatigue, I self-diagnosed myself with adrenal fatigue as well when I was in my college years, just absolutely burning the candle at both ends, so stressed out and tired all the time because I was just like so stressed. I feel like ashwagandha and reishi helped a lot to get my energy back and to like gently nurse me back to health. I love those two. And then the last one I want to say is maca. Maca, super amazing. It tastes like vanilla cupcakes to me. I love maca. Maca, I recommend having it in the morning. It's pretty energizing and it's done a lot to help with my hormone balance, and I think you will find it does the same for you. So incorporate those 5. I'm sure there's a lot more that I could recommend, but let's not be afraid of these incredible herbs. I absolutely love them. Okay, let me know what questions you have around those. And then number 8, the last thing I got to recommend is practicing self-love, practicing gratitude, practicing self-compassion, and truly self-care, right? So what could you possibly do? What is one thing that you could do to practice self-care after you watch this video? And self-care, this practice of nourishing ourselves, nourishing our soul, nourishing our mind, body, spirit in a way that doesn't involve food. A lot of us that are stressed out, our work, like we're on our feet all day long, we're responsible for a lot of things, we're trying to please a lot of people, and then at the end of the day, we just want to find some comfort in a big bowl of who knows what. So instead of finding our comfort there, what could we possibly do? And this incorporates, for me, I've come to find that talking to a friend, stretching, watching a funny fucking cat video, like what can we do to find comfort in ways that don't involve food and to actually practice self-care? Because you know you feel like crap after you eat that food, but if you do some kind of a face mask, paint your nails, like take an extra long shower, what can we do to practice self-care so that after that act we feel like so refreshed and so rejuvenated and so like we're taking care of ourselves? And with this too, I really hope that if you are burning the candle at both ends, although unfortunately this is the norm, what could you do to maybe change your lifestyle? I really don't think that this is sustainable for anybody, and it's really unfortunate that a lot of us, myself included, like I have my days, you know, where we're just like going, and gosh, you know, having little meditations in between there, scheduling in some breaks, like really communicating what we need, making sure we're not overextending ourselves, saying no to things is something that I've really come a long way with when it comes to balancing my hormones, and I'm still working on it. This is still a practice. So I'd love to hear in the comments, like, what are you working on? Are you practicing self-care? What did you get from this video? What is the one thing that you were surprised about that you want to really incorporate? My name is Katie Rhines. I am taking on clients. I have a program designed just for women to help them balance hormones and gain muscle with a plant-based diet. So if you're at all interested in that, let me know. I'd love to read your application. I'd love for you to apply, and let's get in touch. And you have a wonderful day. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped. Have a great day. Bye.